Hey YouTube, Chris with CB Model Works. Welcome back to the garage. So during filming of this one, I had some camera malfunctions. So I decided to do kind of a condensed full build version on this one. As far as the camera issues, mostly me forgetting to hit record, or the camera overheated because it's super hot in the garage, or the battery died. Pretty much all my fault. So we're just going to do a quick version here, starting with a mock-up. I installed those front knuckles upside down so it'd be a little bit taller in the front. On the rear here, I wanted to save the rear end for another kit because you're not going to see it anyway. So I just got this little square tubing and I'm just going to make a fake axle because it'll never be seen again. So now just a quick trim down to get the right track width. This tubing just, by dumb luck, happens to fit perfectly inside of the wheel backings. It will need to be glued, but fits perfect. And get this wheel on, and then mock-up is complete. So let's see how it looks. Sitting normal in the back and a little high in the front because it's going to be without an engine. So looks like it's sitting perfect to me. So I went ahead and did all the base coats off camera because I just brush painted it on. I wasn't worried about it being perfect. Now I'm making a couple of cancerous speed holes. It was very weird for me to be messing up a model when I'm usually trying to make them perfect. It's also kind of fun. And it was really nice to just not have to worry about if I make a mistake because I can just cover it with rust. So I've got the little round grinder bit on there, just trying to make some jagged hole in here. Never tried to do this before, so I might have made the hole a little bit too big, but it'll work. Just trying to make the hole a little less circular. And we're going to make some more rust on the trunk lid here. I'm using the pointy bit so I can try and have a little bit more control over it. And it worked, but I don't know if it was the right bit to use. Just what I had. So now you'll see in a minute, I'm going to overheat this because I'm trying to dent the right side. This is another thing I've never done before. So I went and grabbed a rock so it'd be uneven surface. I didn't want it all uniform. Just trying to make it look like it got sideswiped or something, but I heated it up a little too much and the A-pillar started melting on me. But we'll hide that later. Heated it up a little too much there as well. The rock worked great though. Kind of dented it and put little dings and stuff in it and weird spots. So now we're on to the rust coat. The base coat is going to be, I think it's Createx Burnt Umber. And I just tore off a piece of kitchen sponge there. Just kind of going to go over the whole model with this base coat. I did the undercarriage off camera just so I could get a feel for how this is going to work because I've never done it before. So this is pretty much exactly how I did the undercarriage. And I realized I wasn't supposed to do the door and the fender, but it is what it is. We can paint over it later. So just trying to get just full coverage, I'm not worried about it being perfectly even or smooth or anything. Which again is kind of nice to be able to just go to town on this thing and just have fun with it and not worry. So once I got all that base coat down, I mixed up some orange and just put little dabs all over. And then I'm going to use a paper towel to kind of get the big stuff off and blend it in. And there we go, we've got some rust. So now we're going to rust up the bumpers just a little bit. Not going to go too nuts on them because they're not going to rust that much. But they will have a little bit on them. So now for the interior. I don't know why I did this, but I really wanted to outline this Chevy emblem. So I'm using the old silver pencil. I think it looked good in the end, although you'll never see it again, the way the model is going to be displayed. But it was still fun to do. Gonna do the same thing on the dash. And again, I've tried looking in the car and you can't really see any of this, which you'll see at the end. But still was worth doing. Get a little bit of outline on this stuff. This isn't going any shows or anything. It's going to go on my shelf, so just having fun with it. Figured why not. I don't know if that vent was supposed to be silver or not, but I was having fun going over everything with the pencil. So now, one of those camera issues with me forgetting to record. So I missed the whole original green coat, and then I added a little bit of white to the green paint to fade it, and then I added a little bit more white to fade it again. And this is that third coat. So I missed the other ones. I only did one coat of paint on it because I wasn't looking for a perfect paint job. We're going to be taking some of this off anyway. And then same thing on the hood. You can actually see it on camera better than I could see it in person. So now we're taking off the paint. And I've got a little bowl with water and just a little bit of thinner in it. My toothbrush here. No, it's not the one I used to brush my teeth with. And we're just going over and trying to get some of this paint off and expose the rust. This process was a little easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot harder. A couple spots I went a little too far on. Went down to primer. Just the primer was lacquer, so the stuff didn't bother the primer at all. So we'll end up having to sponge on a little bit more rust later on. And the roof, there we go. We got some rust showing through. Oh, I guess I wasn't happy and needed more. All right, there we go. Nope, not done. Every time I thought I was done, I needed to go back and I was like, it needs more rust, it needs more rust. Did have to show a little bit of restraint just for the look I was going for. Next, I freehand painted in front of my trash can the black on the door and the gray on the fender. This is, after all, an abandoned project car. So I wanted it to look like they had tried to start fixing it up. For the trim here, decided to go with the silver Sharpie instead of Molotow or bare metal foil or anything like that, because I didn't want it super shiny. It's supposed to look old and dirty. So the marker was perfect for that. Not something I usually do, but this one definitely called for the marker. Now getting out that silver pencil again, gonna go over the emblems. Just try and get that raised lettering a little bit, stand out. Got both quarter panels. There's a couple little ones on the fender that didn't show up well on camera. And then the Chevelle one on the hood here. And again, I didn't want them super shiny. Just wanted them to stand out a little bit. Now we're going to dirty up the interior. I've got some Tamiya flat earth. It might be flat dark earth. Thinned out a lot. And I'm just kind of spritzing it over the interior just to make it look a little dirty. Spraying the lower half of the body with the same thing. It spurted on me a little bit on the black door there, and it actually worked out. This thing's going to be displayed sitting on some grass and dirt, so it's going to get dirty on the bottom every time it rains, and just wanted to add that little bit on there. So I got the rear window glued in, got some super glue on it, but wasn't too worried about it, just smeared it around and then sprayed it with that same dark earth to dirty it up. Now we're going to mess up the windshield. We're going to put a hole in it, bunch of marks. Then we got to do the cracks with the Tamiya panel tool. I had originally wanted to make a little baseball bat sticking out of it. Every time I tried to make it, it would break in half on me, and I just kind of gave up. I need to check the parts bin, see if I have an old exhaust pipe and muffler. Maybe I can stick that through the hole in the window. I was actually really happy with how this hole turned out. Because again, something I've never done before. This is my first attempt at it. I did the long cracks and then all the little spiderweb cracks in between the long cracks. And then on the back end, I'm going to put some super glue. And then after we get it installed, we'll spray it with the same dark earth that we did the other one. And in just a couple seconds, we'll get a final reveal because that's when my battery dies. So I had to go charge and just wanted to keep going. All right, and here she is, all jacked up and beautiful. I did some panel line washes in all the panel lines. Oh, looks like I missed dirtying up a spot. I'll have to go back and get that. That looks weird. Yeah, got the chrome trim put on, the bumpers on. I made a homemade wash with the burnt umber. I also used some Vallejo, I believe it was chocolate brown, and just mixed them with water and just made some washes to do some streaking and dirty some stuff up. Did a bunch on the wheels. Yeah, this was super fun. I don't think I can get the camera in there. Got the hood there. Let me get the camera down, see if we can get a look inside. Yeah, so you can kind of see the Chevy in there, but it all just looks super dirty. Like it's been sitting for a while, which is exactly what I wanted. So it's like someone started to work on it and then just gave up. And there you can see how I melted the A-pillar. I had to actually cut the windshield to be able to fit it in there correctly. So that's a little ugly spot, but I figured if I can just do that, you don't see it. So I made this little base here out of just some dollar store foam board. I doubled it up so it'd be a little bit stronger and wouldn't bend on me. And then put some around the edges just to make a little border. Got some grass growing up out of the middle. See if I can do this without it falling. So I'll rust it up in there, and then tall grass coming through. We've got a flat tire on the front, which is actually kind of hard to see because of the grass. But we got mismatched tires, mismatched wheels. We got a missing headlight. Again, more mismatched wheels. You can see right there where my thumb is, where I heated it up a little too much. Oh well, lessons learned. But went ahead and bent all the trim. Another odd wheel. I sprayed all the wheels and tires with the same dark earth to make them dirty. I'll leave it like this. This is my favorite side. Now windshield. Didn't really get a good look in the video, but I love how that windshield came out. So there she is. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to leave some pictures at the end. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave me some comments. If you guys know of any way I could do stuff better, let me know, because this was a lot of fun. I'm going to have to do some more like this. So we will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.